So that was one of my favorite moments of this season.
Oh my God.
Look, and Laria is turning red over here.
Right. He just went in on me for real. I'm like, oh my God.
Laria, do you have a comment?
No.
No comment?
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining once again. My name is Chris Colston. I'm here with Isaiah Tukes, Kimberly Lake, and Laria Reed, and we are 4 Friends in a Book. So this is a special episode for us. We're kind of doing a recap of season 1. We're going to kind of highlight some of our favorite books, our favorite moments, just favorite topics throughout this season. So first and foremost, if you're new to the channel, I need you to stop right now. Just go back, listen to all the previous episodes, so this episode makes sense to you. So for our 4 Friends crew that's been with us since day 1, look, we appreciate you guys supporting us, but we need to hear from y'all. So look, post on Facebook, slide in the 4 Friends DMs on Instagram. Look, you can even send us an email. But we're preparing for season 2. We want to hear from you guys as far as books that you're reading, topics you want to discuss, or even just suggestions that you have for us as we prepare to bring you guys new content and new material for next year. So definitely hit us up. We would love to hear from you guys. So again, this is a recap episode. Look, we started out doing this podcast and the months just have flown by, and we've come to a conclusion of season 1. So we wanted to kind of highlight some of our favorite moments from the season and kind of share with you guys as we've gone through this journey of 4 Friends in a Book podcast this season. So we're gonna start off. Let's get right into it. So, favorite book. And Isaiah, I'm gonna come to you, brother. What was your favorite book out of this season that we've done on 4 Friends in a Book podcast?
Okay. Before I even mention this book, I know I bashed it about these entanglements of Celestial, Roy, and Drake. And on the other hand, I actually like American Marriage a lot. I appreciate how Tahari Jones created these characters and brought them to life. And while I don't usually read fiction books, this was a great read and a great way to escape into a well thought out book. I still think Celestial is more compatible with those dolls, but that's a totally whole other story. And even though I'm still a little bit invested in this book, I think Big Roy still got the short end of the stick with this book. And overall, this was my favorite book of the season.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was a good book. I definitely agree. It was a lot of twists and turns, but overall a good read for us this season. Laria, you want to go next? Your favorite book?
Well, of course, I have to say my book that I physically wrote and put my blood, sweat, and tears into, Lessons from My Father, will always be my favorite book. It was just about my life with my father and the things that he imparted into me. And I really enjoy talking about it with you all and answering some of the questions that you had when you read it. It was just, of course, that's my baby, so I'm going to love it. But a close second is Malcolm X. Y'all know I love Malcolm X. That's my boy. I just hate I never got to meet him.
Laria Shabazz, as my boy Isaiah called you.
He's just so intellectual, and I loved his story. Made so much sense about his life.
Yeah. All right, Kim, what about you?
I have to agree with Isaiah. My favorite book was American Marriage. I'm a fiction girl, so I just love fiction. We've read a lot of different genres, but my heart will always be with fiction. And if you like drama, if you like scandal, if you like, a good soap opera type book, that is the book for you. It is very entertaining. It's written very well and it's very entertaining, and also can be a movie one day. So I really like that book. So
Yes.
that is my
That's
favorite
true.
book of the entire season 1.
Okay, good. So look, I concur with you guys. You know, Laria, I've read your book 3 or 4 times. Like I said, we have discussed it. Always a good read. Just hearing your words and expression of your family, your father, it was just great and awesome. American Marriage was pretty good. It was different for me. But it was very. It drawed me in as well, but I would have to say my favorite book. Hey, you guys know I love history. The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson.
It's a good book.
Just really took me on the journey. Like I said, I love studying history. I love studying African American history. She does an awesome job of laying that out. Actually spent 15 years to write the book. I mean, she did an immense amount of research and cataloging these different stories, these different activities for these 3 individuals that she followed, and that we followed throughout the book. So that was my favorite book. I'm actually planning to read some of her other works as well. That kind of continues on with that same the kind of narrative. But that was my favorite book of season 1, The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson. So, but you guys, like I said, Laria, I love your book, and American Marriage was a close second. So, all right. So look, we've been reading books on 4 Friends in a Book podcast, but we've always told you guys that we're not only about the books. We like to talk about other things, that are going on within our community, within the world, this nation. But in between that, what was you guys' favorite moment as we've been recording and going on this journey of just putting out content, stepping into this whole podcasting concept? It's kind of new for all of us, but what was your favorite moment from season 1 of 4 Friends in a Book podcast? Kim, you want to start?
Sure. My favorite moment was when one of my co-hosts, Isaiah, was going in on my favorite character for my favorite book of the season, American Marriage, Celestial. He went in on her. I don't think it was warranted. The other panelist co-host thought it was, but that was my favorite moment of the season because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I was looking to invest it.
That was actually my favorite moment as well. Yeah, Isaiah, he really went in, like it was like clip worthy. I think
it was hilarious.
Yeah, we captured it and threw it up on our Facebook and Instagram as well, because he just went in on Celestial and just talking about her and these dolls. So yeah, with that being said, let's throw to that clip right now and check it out real quick. Who do you think she was best suited for or more compatible with, Andre or Roy? Isaiah, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts is I think she was more compatible with those dolls that she made. This lady, Celeste was just all over the place for me of what she wanted in a relationship. So if we're gonna talk about Celeste, we gotta start all the way from the beginning now.
Keep it real. All right, so look, we just checked this clip out of Isaiah just going in as we read the book American Marriage, and yeah, definitely a high point for us, at least for me as well, throughout this season, with him just going in on Celestia and just you can tell my boy, he's really invested. He was into that book. Like the emotions came out.
Yes.
Isaiah, what was that moment for you?
Well, it's interesting. One of my co-hosts said that she enjoyed Malcolm X's books because that was one of my favorite moments. When Miss Laria Reed, aka DJ Honeyblood, she confessed her love for the Honorable Malcolm X in this book. You would have thought that these people was married, that they was dating for this long period of time. She wanted to pull this guy from the grave. I know she's into intellect, but she really enjoys and adores this guy. And I was just looking like, Laria, what is going on this podcast?
I was telling them, Kim, about how I got a little crush on Malcolm X. Like just little. I love intelligence, brilliance. Like that's like, let me pick your mind. Let's talk. Oh my goodness, you're so smart.
Laria Shabazz.
That little Malcolm Chris, Laria X in the building.
But you know what, Laria, you actually surprised me with that one, but I can actually see that relationship working with you. You like another Betty Shabazz in my eyes as well, too. You're a good activist, and I can see you and Malcolm X working that relationship out. So that was one of my favorite moments of this season.
Oh my God.
Look, and Laria is turning red over here.
Right.
He just went in on me for real. I'm like, oh my God.
Laria, do you have a comment?
No.
No comment?
He done put out my DJ Honey Blonde nickname. He just went in on me like he did Celeste. Oh my God. No.
Look, we talk about Mr. Rant Man over here, so you know how he do.
Yeah, he can rant anybody. Well, thank you, Isaiah. Thank you so much.
Laria X Shabazz.
Oh my God, y'all are crazy.
Well, look, Laria, that's a good transition. So since Isaiah has been talking about you, what was that? Look, go on, get him back if you can. But what was your favorite moment from season one?
And see, mine is more sentimental and nice. The first episode, it just, I went back and kind of watched some of our clips, and our first episode was like, it was our idea. Isaiah came up with the name, and then I was just looking at how we introduced ourselves and how we're so different, but a lot alike. We enjoy traveling. We enjoy doing new things, different things. I didn't know Isaiah was a scuba diver and all this stuff in different places. I got surprised on that. It was just a lot that I didn't know about each one of us that we talked about. And I think that we're alike, but different. So we all bring a different perspective to the podcast about all the books. So that first episode that we did will always be near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, Scuba Tooth. Yep. Scuba. Nah, that was a good point. And even like I said, how we started out, it was just getting into this podcasting environment, and starting out, like I said, we've all been connected, but we do have different perspectives. We enjoy different activities, but there is a common thread that's kind of all kept us together. And I think as you guys have been watching, you kind of see that unfold throughout the podcast. So hope you guys are enjoying our different perspectives, but also the commonality that we share as well. So yeah, it's good. It's good. So as I kind of mentioned before, Four Friends in the Book podcast, we're not just about books. We talk about current events, things that may be trending on social media, relevant topics within our community, within our country, within this world that we live in, which we kind of just addresses like those hot topics. So even with that being said, Laria, what was your favorite hot topic from season one of Four Friends in the Book podcast?
Okay, so one of my favorite, because there's so many to choose from, hot topics, was the piece on gentrification on the book that we kind of segue from, When No One Is Watching, and talking about how different places wait until the prices go really low. They come in and buy people out and do things to get people out of their homes that they've been in for years so that they can put $1 million condos or whatever. And this is happening all over Georgia, everywhere. So it's kind of one of those things that really bothers me. And every time I pass by certain areas, especially in the Atlanta area, you'll see an area that is just in the tank, and then you'll come back and you'll see signs up $500,000 condos, and things just changing. Kind of like in the South DeKalb area now, it's starting to change over. So yeah, you can see it happening, and it really kind of does something to me. But that's one of my favorites.
That's good. That's good. Isaiah, what about you?
My favorite hot topic was the criticism surrounding, Simone's Biles withdrawing from the Tokyo Olympics. The way this young lady was ridiculed only because she just needed time away. It even got so bad that she just had to actually make a statement and just say she recently lost her aunt. She mentally can't be there. She can't be jumping on beans and higher and flips because mentally she's not there. She wanted to be home, with her family. Then the media came in later just to do this apology tour, just saying how sorry that was. But people don't realize that, mental illness is something real that we discussed on this show, and people don't understand like the struggles that a person face. And the reason that I resonated with that, because I understand how that feels when you're trying to back off because something is going on behind the scenes, but you just don't want to put everybody into it. And sometimes you just need the time, the way just to get yourself refocused. And I that was one of my favorite hot topics, the way they just did her and just went out the way like she's just not a human being. Like she has emotion, she has feelings, even though she's an Olympian champion. She's a person first.
Right.
Okay,
That's a good one.
that's good. Kim, what about you? So, topic that we discussed throughout this season that kind of stood out to you the most.
My favorite topic is none other than the love guru, relationship guru himself, Kevin Samuels. I thought that was an entertaining
Don't be raising your hand.
My boy.
Put your hand down. Ain't nobody said no
debate.
Kevin.
Relationships, love, men, women is always going to be a hot button issue anytime we discuss it. So I just thought we had a good time talking about it. Some people on this panel, I mean, Kevin Samuels, you either love him or you hate him. Some people on this panel love him. And some people, just he's not their cup of tea. So I just thought that was a really great discussion, and I just had a lot of fun when we did that. So, and that's my favorite hot topic.
Yeah, that's good. And even all the topics you guys mentioned, I think it was cool that we were able to kind of pair those with books that we were reading and find some of those correlations, but also interesting to kind of even follow up on some of those same topics and discussion. Talking about gentrification, we're still seeing a lot of that stuff. Simone Biles, and I think even now she's like to the point she's basically saying like, hey, she's completely done. So even being able to follow those topics, and of course my boy Kevin still, like he always trending on on Instagram or YouTube, or World Star, whatever it may be. But even to kind of follow those different activities has been kind of interesting. As we've discussed them and talked about them. I think for me was the very first episode we did where we're talking about George Floyd and just some of the things we've been experiencing within our country and just worldwide here lately, and to kind of still see that thread still kind of unraveling in other areas. So right now we're in the Ahmaud Arbery trial and just kind of seeing how that's playing out, and even seeing some of the correlation between the George Floyd trial and the trial that's going on now, and just it's just I don't know, it's crazy that we're kind of just in this cycle, and it almost like it's just still surreal that we're kind of in this state, and to kind of see these similarities between these different activities that we've seen as far as social injustices, police brutality, and just crime and just things that are going on in general. But so that was kind of my I guess favorite topic, because it really just shed a lot of light. I think we had a good conversation and good expression of what we were feeling at the time. But even now, that topic is still very relevant, because we're kind of in that same situation now, going with the trial for Ahmaud and trying to, get some justice for him. So, yeah, it's a good discussion, guys. Yeah, we season 1, we flew by.
It was great. Though.
Yeah.
Great.
I had a good season.
It was, and so we have a lot of exciting things for you guys planned for season 2. So again, stick with us. Hit us up with some comments, recommendation, books, whatever you have for us. Another thing we gonna continue to do, you know, we gonna hit y'all with these rants. We ain't getting away from that. So even with that being said, we gotta come to my boy, Mr. Rant Man himself. It wouldn't be an episode if we didn't hit on a rant. So Isaiah, what was your favorite rant from season 1?
I don't want to rant about a rant, but I think my favorite rant was regarding this situation with this voting bill. We're still trying to get this for the people at, passed, as well as to the John Lewis Voting Act. Why hasn't it been passed yet? Like, something is actually going on. We have delegated, we have put people into place, and we're still actually fighting this thing, today. I don't understand what is going on. People are intentionally, just trying to hold back the votes of Black and brown people. That is something that we just see every single day in the news. And I think the more that we actually put this information to the forefront, like, no, we're not going to let this go. Like, our ancestors fought so hard for us to have the right to vote. And we cannot lose their right to vote. I don't care what bills they're trying to pass, but we have to combat that. We're just showing up to our Congress leaders and our senators and just saying, no, you all need to pass this right. I encourage everyone to actually contact their local senator and their local congressman just to actually get this information to the forefront. This cannot go cold any longer. We have to get this thing passed because we're depending on it, like our life is depending on it. And I think that was actually my favorite rant of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Look, you almost went into a rant.
I try not to.
It wasn't a full out rant, but you was getting there, man. I
He's
saw
almost there.
I saw that little vein popping out your head. I was like, oh. But again, we thank you guys for tuning in with us, for joining us for season 1. It flew by so quickly. We're going to take a little time to kind of just enjoy the holiday season, spend time with family and friends. So we suggest you guys do that as well. But hey, don't stop reading and be mindful. We coming back. We going to be back. So in the new year, and even with that, I said, y'all gonna give him a little snippet, give them a little hint about what we're going to, the first book of 2022 that we're going to be breaking out with starting in January.
As my brother Chris said, even though we're taking a small break, we are coming back, and we are coming back hard. Season 2, we're going to start with Will Smith's anticipated memoir called Will. I encourage y'all to actually read this book, follow along with us, because we're going to start off season 2 with a strong hit, and you don't want to miss it.
Exactly. So look, hey, go pick up that book now. Again, we want you guys to read with us and join us, as we're reading, so we can have some good discussion about these books. So as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for all your support. Happy New Year's, all that good stuff. Happy holidays. And again, let's continue to read, let's learn, let's grow, and let's have a discussion here on 4 Friends in a Book. See you guys soon.